Bloodcraft. A bunch of Bloodcraft cards revealed here. Viper Lash. 3 play point spell. Deal 4 damage to random any follower. Summon a Serpent. Enhance 6. Summon 4 Serpents instead. 4 damage for 3 play points is kind of the average. Usually they come with a bonus. The bonus is getting a 1/1, which is okay. But 4 damage, gain 4 Serpents, that's a lot. And that's very good. It gives you a lot of tempo. Especially with other cards that will buff your Serpents or do some other effects with the Serpents. Makes this card very good. Given a 3 out of 5. Moving on. Armored Bat. 3 play point 1/1 Mecca card. With last word, summon 2 assembly droids. Enhance 6. Gain +4/+4 and ward. This is a better version of Bone Chimera. But the main reason that Bone Chimera was played was because you could use the cards, the skeletons, for Soul Conversion or Demon Eater or Prince Catacomb or Necro Assassin. So those skeletons had a lot of use. The assembly droids have use because they're Mecca cards. But you don't really have a lot of sacrifice outlets in Blood. Those are just a lot of stats. Very aggressive card. Because you just want to use these guys to go face. With a good enhance. Like enhance 6, 5/5 ward with this last word. Very flexible. It's a good card. This is like a 3.5 out of 5. Berserk Demon, 4 play point 4/4. Fanfare. If Vengeance is act for you, gain the ability to ignore ward. If his follower has at least 6 attack, gain rush. So you want to play him in some kind of hand buff, Bloodcraft, so you can gain rush. Yeah, that's like good. That's just good. 2.5 out of 5. Moving on. The Blood Core. When an allied follower evolves, restore 10 defense to your leader, then bash it. So 3 play points, requiring evolve, heal 10. In early game, healing 10 is not as good as later in the game unless you're playing against a very hyper aggressive deck. It's one of the weaker of the cores because it doesn't affect the board, doesn't draw you cards. It just heals you. And there's a lot of decks in Shattercraft that are just going to kill you from like 20. So killing the 10 is not going to be that good. If there's a lot of aggro and you're playing some kind of control Blood, maybe this is a thing. For now, it's just a 2 out of 5. Next we have Hellblaze Demon, 2 play point 2/2. Ward. Fanfare, give +X to a Bloodcraft follower. In your hand, deal X. X equals the number of other allied followers in play. So on turn 2, this is probably going to be by itself. Give +1 to a Bloodcraft follower in your hand. Not that good. It's a 2/2 with Ward, which is very good for a 2/2. Not only does it help you in the early game, taking less damage, helps you greatly in the late game, protecting your bigger followers from attacks, protecting you from bigger attacks. 2/2 Ward is very solid. There's stuff like the Armored Bat, which will give you a lot of tokens. So if you have the tokens on the board, then you can boost your hand even further. Good card, might be staple in hand buff Blood. Yeah, even it's a good card in control Blood for the Ward. Moving on. Unleash the Nightmare. 3 play 1 spell. Put 2 random followers from your deck in your hand. Summon a Forest Bat for each non-Mecca follower added to your hand. Summon Assembly Droid for each Mecca follower added to your hand. So you get 2 1/1s. Unless you have no followers in your deck, then you don't get anything, but that's probably not going to happen. You get 2 1/1s for 3 and draw 2 cards. That's good. That's really, really good. Like, drawing 2 cards for 3 is good. Drawing 2 cards and getting 2 1/1s, way, way, way better. It's so good. You don't lose any tempo for drawing 2 cards. And they're specific cards, so you know you're going to get followers when you play this. Very, very good. 4 out of 5 card. Next we have Destructive Succubus. 10 play points, 6/6. Fanfare, deal 3 damage to all enemies. If vengeance act for you, summon 2 serpents and give all serpents ward. During your turn, whenever an allied follower evolves, subtract 1 from the cost of this card. So it has kind of the Aussie effect where its cost will be lower. So you want this in your hand when you're evolving. So usually want to draw before you evolve if you have this card in your deck. Gives you 2 1/1s with ward. That's pretty good. Thing is, it's probably not going to cost less than 8 or 7 a lot of the time, depending on if you're going first, second. Unless you're playing cards that generate you more evolves. There's a few of those. Hard to rate this card because you have to kind of build a deck around it with a bunch of things that will evolve without evolve points. Has Serpent synergy. Could be okay. For now, it's a 2.5 out of 5. Moving on. Talked about that already. We have Medusa, Evil-Eyed Serpent. 5 play point 2/4. Summon 3 serpents. And return gave Bane to a ally serpent and give ward to a random ally serpent. So the serpent, same serpent can get Bane and ward, or 2 different serpents can gain Bane and 1 gains ward. Evolve, put this thing in your hand. 8 play point, 1/7 with Rush and Bane. Can attack 3 times per turn. Very expensive for like 8 play points a lot. Like this gives you a lot of stats for 5 play points, spread among many bodies. Very good in mid-range decks. And it gives you Bane and Ward, so maybe even good for control decks. There's a lot of combos you can do with this. I'm not going to get into them because they're kind of silly. But you can essentially give this Storm and boost its attack, which will make it crazy, but that requires a whole deck built around this thing. Her by herself, very good card. Like a solid 4 or 5. Robo Falcon. 2 play point 1/3 with Fanfare, give another allied Mecca follower +1/+1 rush. And it's a Mecca follower. That is very powerful. Especially going first and you have like 2 Falcons, Robo Falcons. You'll have 1 Robo Falcon will be a 2/4 with rush. Especially good if you already had another Mecca follower in play. Then you give it +1/+1 and you can attack face or something like that, or trade favorably. Yeah, very solid card. 3 out of 5. Next we have a 2 play point 1/2. Put a random neutral follower into your deck your hand. Tutor is a neutral follower, so you can build your deck to specifically get a certain one, like Prince of Concoctus or something along those lines. So 2 play point 1/2, draw a card, and specifically a neutral follower. Pretty powerful. Which is also a 3 out of 5. Moving on. Purging Light. 6 play point spell. Banish a random enemy follower with 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 defense respectively. Those can remove 5 different followers if they all have different health. But in my opinion, it's probably going to remove 2 things. And if one of those things is a 5 and a 4, and is very, very good, this did a lot of work. This also deals with Cerberus. Like, just remove Cerberus, because Cerberus is 3, 2, and 1. This also removes Celia, which is 4, 2, and 1. Very good at removing those kind of followers that make a bunch of different statted followers. Not so good against that new sword card, because new sword card makes a bunch of 1/1s, so only one of the 1/1s will be removed. Maybe not like 3 copies, but maybe 1 or 2. It also removes things with ambush. Next we have Father Refinement, 5.55. Ward, Fanfare, put a repair mode in your hand. Change the cost of all repair modes in your hand to 0. Can't take more than 3 damage at a time. Pretty good. Takes 2 hits to kill him most of the time. Puts a repair mode in your hand, heals you a little bit, or heals himself, or heals another Mech and a follower, or whatever. And has ward, so decent, and also Mech and a follower for Pneumonia. It's like a 2.5 out of 5, maybe a 3. If the repair modes have more value added to them, like through like maybe Tenko Shrine. But Tenko Shrine has its own problems right now. Next we have Portalcraft. Prototype Warrior, 2.22. Put 2 bifurcating, whatever. Put 2 these whatever artifacts in your deck. Bifurcating. I don't know. It's a 3 point 2/2. Summon another bifurcating artifact. Hard to rate this card because we're losing all of the artifact synergy with the rotation of Chronogenesis. No, I'm not going to even bother giving this guy a rating right now because we need a lot more artifact support. Next we have Shin, Lawful Light, 2.22. Ward. Evolve, put Chaos Awakening in your hand. Chaos Awakening is 4.1 spell. Give +4/+4 to an ally follower. If the follower is Shin, transform into Shin Chaotic Darkness. Shin Chaotic Darkness is a 6/6. End of your turn, randomly form one of the following. Destroy random enemy follower, deal 4 damage to enemy leader, and restore 2 defense to your leader, or subtract 1 from the cost of all cards in hand. If your 10th turn or later, perform all instead. It's a random effect. These all are pretty good effects. And they're kind of upside because you just evolved, you just spent 6 play points to do this. It's alright. Especially if you evolve and then you spend this later another Shin. That's alright. And just like 4 play point +4/+4s. It's pretty good. You can use it on a puppet to kill something bigger, like something with 5 life. You can use it on a follower with Storm to do more damage. You can use it on a follower starting the board to do more damage. Very flexible, especially in Portalcraft. And you got it's like a 2/2 with Ward. I was talking about this earlier. That's very good stats. I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 5, I think. Next we have Neutral. First we have Trend Setting Seraph. For play point 3/4. Last words, restore 2 defense to your leader. And involved last words, deal 2 damage to enemy leader. It's bad. 1.5 out of 5. Next. Catherine, Epicurean Angel, 6 play point 4/4. Fanfare, restore 6 defense to your leader. Fanfare enhance 10, restore 10 defense to your leader instead. That's pretty good. Like that whose power creeps the Haven basic card. Healing 6 is quite a bit. Great defensive card. There's even cards, this reminds me also of like Fairy Beast, and this is going to restore about the average amount that a Fairy Beast will restore. It's really good in decks that want to stall out, or control decks. Has synergy with like Tenko Shrine. Very good card. 3 out of 5. Moving on. Mecca Wing Angel. 8 play point 6/6. Accelerate 2. Summon 2 assembly droids. Ward. Fanfare. Summon 2 assembly droids. This thing's ridiculous. So it has Accelerate 2. Summon 2 assembly droids. It's like Osa's Knight. Or Latham Accelerate. It's going to be played in any class. Any class would be happy with just having whatever, Accelerate 2, Summon 2 1/1s. Especially if there's Mech synergies. So I'm going to see this card is going to see a lot of play. This would be like almost number 1 for crafting, because this goes into so many decks. Even goes into something like just Spell Boost Rune, because Accelerate 2, Summon 2 droids is fine. Could do that spell boost. Yeah, very good card. Very, very good. And has emergency 8 play point 6/6 with Ward, which is not likely going to see as much play as just the Accelerate. But there's an option. 4.5 out of 5. That's all the cards revealed so far. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will be back when they revealed the rest. See you guys.